Okay, this is the Weekend Angel Hug for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 9th, 10th and 11th of November. And I'm going to start with an Archangel card. But first of all, I just want to say from Archangel Shamuel, the message that I've just been receiving is about love. And it's about not only talking about love, but we're being asked to really, really have an understanding and to notice how we feel love, how we experience love, what it feels like, and when we really are experiencing love, what it moves us to say, to do, to think, to share. So rather than just having it as a concept, we're being encouraged to really come into the experience of love and to forget about the understanding of it, but to be in that experience of loving. Okay, so that's a nice way to start the weekend. So that's for Friday, and I'm just going to shuffle again. And, well, I didn't shuffle yet. Okay, so, right. Okay, so we've got the indigo crystal children again. Indigos and crystals, and it's really interesting that they've come up a second time this week. So it really, really does feel important that we really stay in our hearts, we stay in that place of empathy, of noticing from our hearts, of behaving as we would if we really, really saw each other and saw ourselves as children. Because that can really bring a big shift in perception. You know, the person that you find really irritating, that's a child who really needs love. The person who's really, really rubbing you up the wrong way all day at work, that's a child who really feels misunderstood or unheard. And the person that you're in a relationship with who you just can't understand why they do those ridiculous things, that's a child who needs some attention, or who just isn't getting something that they need to feed them in a way that will help them to grow. So there's a bit of catching up to do there. And the children who are actually in our lives need us more than ever, as we said before, because there's so much shifting going on, there's so much change happening. So Friday is again a day to find love and balance in terms of looking at all of the children in our lives, inner and outer children. And also I'm being reminded to say that when we talk about our inner child, if we want to take this a little bit further in the healing sense, connect, make time to have a little bit of a meditation, ask for the angels to be around you. I've got Archangel Shamuel saying, ask me to come close because I can keep your heart open during the process, so it doesn't feel quite so much of a torture. And while you're in that space with your heart open, and bring a smile there and know that you're loved and know that you're safe, you could ask to connect with a child, a particular age that feels really relevant, that feels as if it really needs some love, or feels as if that child, that age, is relevant to what's creating resistance or to what needs to heal. And then you can ask for that child to be surrounded with love. And not to make heavy weather of this, not to make it a huge thing, catharsis or anything like that, that you have to spend the weekend recovering from, just to ask for that child to be surrounded with love, and then go out and do something really nice for that child. And if it is an actual physical child outside of yourself, Friday might be a nice day to just do something fun. Do something just really fun that's away from any tragedies that are happening, that's away from anything to do with homework or having to try or strive or be or do, and just, get away from all of that for the day. So that's Friday. And for Saturday, let's pick one of these messages cards. It does feel as if I'm really going on at the moment in these messages, and I've kind of lost all concept of time, because when I think they're really long, they're not, and when I think they're really short, they're not. Okay, anyway, I'm not going to worry about that. What comes, comes. Right, so Saturday, steady progress. Saturday, I see and feel a lot of people sitting down at the table, getting the notebooks out, planning, I can see little boxes, little charts, little bubble diagrams and graphs and things of getting really clear about what you want to achieve over the next 6 months and how you're going to make steady progress towards it. So it's the time to really start to break it down rather than just to have pie in the sky dreams and just hope for the universe to somehow manifest them. It's about, or just sort of throwing a scattergun bunch of actions out there. It's about planning and having an idea, a breakdown of how this thing could be achieved, put it down on paper. And even if in the process of flowing with it and allowing divine guidance to come into the picture, it changes and you have to adapt it slightly and it evolves and it grows and it takes unexpected and delightful turns. Even if that does happen, that's fine. But if you have a plan, you start to sketch something out, that will give you more hope. It will give you the idea that it can happen, and it will give you the inspiration that you need to add more creativity to it later on, because you'll have a framework for all of this thinking and dreaming and manifesting. Right, and for Sunday, let's have another one of our lovely prayers from the Archangel Michael deck. Oh, wrong deck. Okay. I love these cards. I even love the feel of these cards when I'm shuffling. Right, okay. And the prayer is, okay, it says, you created this situation and you have the power to change it. Again, we've had that a second time. So it's a big nudge from the angels, from the universe, to remind us all that anything that feels uncomfortable, it's just a creation. It's just our creation. And because we created it to begin with, we can uncreate it. We can make something else. We can change it. We have that power. And sometimes when we get too much in our heads and we try to think our way out of everything, we become less empowered because we're trying to get away from it. We're trying to run away from it. And what we need to do is to come back into it, get back centered back into our hearts, get real with it. Be honest with ourselves about where it might have come from, why we might have created it. And even if we can't see this in terms of our lives, because if we start to think that through in a human way, it's quite challenging to say, yes, I can see that I created it because such and such. And it can be a bit like blaming ourselves. If we go above and see the higher picture and say, right, well, why might I as a soul have created this experience? What might I have wanted to learn from this? So therefore, how might I now be done with it? And how might, this came up in someone's reading as well, how might I therefore be able to move through it into something else? If I decided that I really just wanted to create joy in my life, what might I decide to create now? So it's really about seeing the situation from a very creative point of view. I love the picture on the card as well. So she's painting a picture, and it's really reminding us that that's what we're doing. We're writing stories and painting pictures as we move through this life experience. And the message says, thank you, this is the prayer, thank you for letting me lean on your strength and for reminding me of my personal power. Please guide me to manifest and heal according to divine will, creating peace and blessings for everyone involved. Okay, and I felt as if there was something else that needed to be said on that, but it seems to have gone, so I seem to have covered everything. So have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy all of that. Enjoy planning and having your ideas set out on paper, and then enjoy flowing into the idea that you created something here and you can now create something else. So feeling our way into the creation once we've actually got the ideas down on paper, feeling our way through, understanding it with our hearts and moving into a higher expression of what we are by doing that, and by letting go of the painful scenarios, or at least understanding those scenarios much better and understanding them from a more empowered perspective. Right, that's it. Have a great weekend, and I'll be back on Monday. Bye.